We're speaking about the Gemara in Erchin, Daf Tazayin Amud Beis, 40 days of pleasure. Sorry, 40 days, that's the name of the Shir, 40 days of pleasure. But that the Gemara says there that if you haven't had Yisurim in 40 days, it means you lost your portion in the world to come. So you have to understand, why did you lose your portion in the world to come? We explained in the last class that the three areas are that the Gemara chooses to have Yisurim. Those are three primary areas of pleasure: wine, clothing, and money. And that even though there's nothing wrong with having these as pleasures, but we have to realize it's not the purpose. Infinite pleasure comes in the world to come. That's the purpose. This world is a prosor, is a hallway. And therefore, once every 40 days, we need a reset. Now, the 40 days, Chazal tell us many places, it's a time of creation. The Ma'abel was 40 days, that was a time of destruction and recreation of the world. A Vlad, the fetus, takes 40 days to develop. 40 days before it's announced if he'll be, who he's going to marry. Moshe Rabbeinu was on Har Sinai for 40 days. We find 40 days is the time of creation of a new entity. 40 days is the time from El to Yom Kippur. We recreate ourselves. It's a time of recreation. Every 40 days we go through a recreation period. And during that time, we need at least one major or minor experience of Yisurim. And the reason for that is, as we're saying now, is that we should realize it's not the purpose of the world. The purpose of the world is not to run after money, wine, or clothing. Yeah? There's a story I heard, it's a true story, that someone got married in one of the fanciest hotels in America, and they had already bought their clothing, so they paid $100,000 to change the wallpaper in that hotel in order that it should match their clothing. Okay, I hear, $100,000, you could feed many aniyim. Yeah, you could feed 100 aniyim for a month in Yerushalayim. If you want to know how, I could tell you. But to change the wallpaper, why? Lama? Use the same wallpaper, have your clothes, Why do you have to do that? Okay, wouldn't be good for the pictures. I don't know, I'm not so experienced in these areas. But the point is like this. The point is that once every 40 days, we need a little tap on the shoulder. And these Yisurim, small as they might be, don't pulling out the right change, clothes a little tight, right? Wine, not exactly as I want it. All of these are a tap on the shoulder from Hashem, telling us that this is not the goal. The goal is not these pleasures. They can help us. They can aid us in our guide, in our journey through this world, but it's not the goal. Right? And that's a tap on the shoulder from Hashem. And that's why the Gemara is telling us, if we haven't had them in 40 days, it means we lost our Chilek and Olam Haba. If Hashem's not tapping us on the shoulder, it means He gave up on us. Yeah? Famous story with the Alter Mikeln. One of his prized students left the yeshiva to open up a store. The Alter did not think it was the right thing to do. It was against his will. Anyway, it was during the war and they were bombing, and everybody was under the table scared. The Alter was just looking out the window and he sees bombs falling. And a bomb falls that takes a direct hit on the store. Yeah? A direct hit on the store of this Talmud, this student who left the yeshiva. And the Alter said very calmly, he said in Yiddish, Weiß du chois, mit Shemayim, Haus noch von der Mensch. Which means, it seems in heaven they still hold he has potential to come back to yeshiva. They blew up his store. Right? Okay, that's extreme. We don't want those during the 40 days to get our stores blown up, our houses, chas v'shalom. But he needed obviously a bigger reset than everybody else. Every 40 days is a new creation. We need a new reset. We need Hashem to tap us on the shoulder. And just like the Alter said, they didn't give up on him. They blew up his store. Right? When we have difficulties, we should know Hashem is telling us, I didn't give up on you. I still have hope. I still have potential. I once had a Rebbe in yeshiva, and I could say, Rav Chatzkel Weinfeld, he has a kol and a shul on Ramat Golan Street in Yerushalayim. Come on, almost every day for 2 years, he called me an idiot in shir. Idiot! I remember, and other people also I got special treatment. One time during the Gulf War, when they had to shave our beards, people had to shave in order to get their masks on, right? The next day after one of the Bachrim shaved, and they said something. He said, now I see that the Zohar is right, that the 18 hairs of wisdom are in the beard. That's so stupid what you're saying. Someone told me recently, Rav Avishai David, he was in the seer of Rav Yoshe Ber Soloveitchik, right? Like he pounded him, pounded. One time he said something very smart. He said, I see there is a brain in your head. Yeah? So got a little bit of a compliment. But, if somebody really pounds you, a Rebbe at least, right? And that's old school, new school, they don't do it. Old school, it means they really think they have potential to make it. God thinks that we have potential. God doesn't give up on us. And therefore He gives us these challenges. He gives us these difficulties in order that we should not forget, as a reset, right? And that's actually the word Yisurim comes from Yisur. It's from going out of the improper mindset, right? Because we get too caught up with money, clothing, wine. We get pulled in by the pleasures of this world. And the Gemara is going to tell us once every 40 days we need a reset. Every 40 days we're being recreated. We need a reset, and we need to realize that that's not the purpose of life, right? It's tap on the shoulder from God that it's time for reset. So this, my friends, I believe is what Chazal are coming to tell us. And I know I said it's the last class, but I'm going to add one more tomorrow. Just a very interesting example of this, and some interesting examples of Yisurim and how we can deal with them. B'ezrat Hashem, we should have very small Yisurim, like your hands in our pocket, or the wine, or clothing, and even it should not be too tight, so we can still wear it. But Hashem should help us to get through all difficulties that we should have, and enjoy life to the fullest. Amen.